Good afternoon. I'm here with Ben Bradley from Cosmic Carrot, and we're going to be talking around building powerful online presence and sort of the essential tips for startups in the context of building a website and having a website and an online presence. Good evening, Ben.
Hi Neil.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
You want to just give people a quick overview of what you do?
Yeah, so Cosmic Carrot, we're a digital marketing web agency based on the edge of Cannock Chase in South Staffordshire. Been going for 16 years and clients across the States, UK and other parts of the world. So, but 100% online, that's what we do, nothing offline.
So, all digital.
Yeah, just purely digital stuff, so that's briefly what we do anyway.
That's wonderful. So I guess, I'm a startup, and I recognise that I've got to have a need to have a website. That's really important. But a well-designed website, is that critical for business today?
Absolutely, yeah. Without a doubt, it is the main point of call, and it is the face and hub of a business. If you've got a bricks and mortar business, it's essential really to have that presence with your website and looking the best it can, because that is the first point of call that your new potential customers are going to see your business. That's the first thing they see. So if it's looking great, then they're more likely to then actually make that physical effort to actually visit your premises.
I guess it's like the Harrods shop window, isn't it, in the digital world?
Absolutely. If somebody seen your website and thinking, yes, that's a decent business to see, then sure enough, let's make the effort. I'll go down wherever it is, or whatever the premises or product or service that they're selling.
And what is well designed in your mind for a website?
So you definitely want to have clear call to actions of what you're actually selling, those products or services. Something that's clear. We could get into the details of SEO and or user navigation, if you like, but most of all, you don't want to something that doesn't really come across as a good presence for your business. It's got to represent that.
It's got to represent the product and service you're offering.
You want to bring that brand and who and what your business stands for.
And what about in terms of the technical side of things? I'm assuming simplicity and fast loading and all those things make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So with most people today looking online through the mobile, that's where most of the traffic's come from. So it's got to be fast loading. It's got to have really great user navigation, because if somebody can't find what they're actually looking for, then they're hitting the back button or going back to the Google search to find somebody else, a competitor, that is actually going to provide what they want, that they were looking for.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about mobile devices, and most people are actually searching on mobiles today. So responsive and being able to see are all really important pieces.
Absolutely. So it's got to be responsive on all devices, not just mobile, tablet, and obviously your desktop as well. If somebody's sitting at home on a desk with a computer. So yeah, it's always got to be looking great for whatever device that potential client is looking for.
Cool. So that's great in terms of what's critical about the website. But if I'm just starting up, what are the sort of common mistakes that you see small businesses do with their online presence?
Yeah, the biggest one is actually when someone's actually launched the website, is they actually then neglect it. So once you've launched it, don't neglect it. You've got to keep on top of it. You've got to keep refreshing that content, and you've got to keep on. If something's changed, then you're probably losing an opportunity.
Yeah,
basically, because something's changed.
I guess that's I had a company called Inter Project Management years ago, and I did exactly what you just said I shouldn't have done. I had a website, we launched it, we forgot about it. It was the shop window, it's never going to change.
Yeah.
And then I learned very quickly that I was falling down the rankings, and I didn't have a presence essentially at one point. I asked the question why. And then we decided to go hell for leather on a blog page, and we started to blog regularly through the website. Yeah. And that seemed to, get that online presence back up again.
Yeah, the old adage of build it and they'll come is long gone, And you definitely have to keep refreshing that content. The blog posts, adding all that content stuff. That you just got to avoid the common mistake, really. Don't leave it dull, keep it fresh. And if there's things changing in the market or new products or services, you've got to have it reflecting on your website immediately.
That's a good point.
Otherwise, if your website's not saying it, which is the front face of your business, then nobody else is saying it
It's
for you.
almost like sitting in a business meeting trying to sell your business and not actually telling them about some of the services that you offer.
Absolutely.
It's the same analogy, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. And, you could have, real missed opportunities there.
I guess you see this quite frequent with startups doing this.
Yes. Yep. Definitely. It's something. It's something you basically just got to keep on top of, really. It's really hard because you're obviously spinning all the plates, trying to actually do what you do best in your business, sell your products or services, but you've got to just sort of make sure the front face of your business, which is and should be your website, unless obviously you've got bricks and mortar business as well, just make sure it's representing your business the way it should be.
Yeah, and like from a process perspective, with my lean hat on, I'd be saying you need a daily management system that sort of, and that's nothing complex, it's just I've got a diary and I know that every week I've got to do some update to my site, and I'll just go and check it and put a blog on, or make sure the content's relevant, or every month or every quarter, whatever that looks like, I go and just double check that those things are correct.
Yeah, it's the business admin really of running a business. Everybody thinks you've got to keep the books and keep the accountant happy. Yep, that's 100% true, but there's obviously a list of tasks and things that need to be carried out within your website for your business.
And it is very hard when you're the director of everything. In fact, I wrote a blog post about that today. I'm the director of everything. It does get very, very difficult. That's great. Great advice. Thank you. So how can businesses with limited resources actually improve their visibility, their SEO? How can they improve that visibility out there?
Yeah, there's quite a few ways actually, Neil. And actually I've got 5 good tips for you. So the first one, and biggest one, and the biggest and best one a lot, is from a local SEO perspective, and that is actually to use the free tool from Google, the Google Business Profile. Can't stress enough how important it is to use that, get your business on there and get it optimised as best as possible that you think is relevant for your business. It's just a great tool. It will get you recognised around the local area and actually get you, so if somebody's searching for XYZ, and you're saying about XYZ, you will actually start ranking locally within the map. So that's what you need to do.
And that's a free tool?
That's a free tool, and we actually offer a free audit as well, and a bit of strategy piece on providing to local businesses that want to sort of optimise their Google Business Profile. So we do that. But there's also a second sort of option we've got is from a, let me try and remember, from a content piece. So, get your updates done, keep adding the new content, blogs, and if you can get content that's relevant to your business added elsewhere, then get that done.
Is it important the way you structure that website in terms of making sure you've got, tags and things like from the coding perspective, right?
Yeah, so what you're referring to there is actually on-page optimization. So that is another free thing that a startup can absolutely get on and do. That is revolving around getting the correct titles on every page, getting your meta tags sorted, and also for every single image, you need to have image alt text. And what that is for is actually for the visually impaired. So if there's an image of a tree, you need to say that it's a oak tree or sort of some description like that. Just so, because that's what the alt text is there for. It's to describe for visually impaired people. Obviously, maybe the majority of audience isn't visually impaired, but it is a massive economic area, and I think some statistics from the States put that number in potentially billions of potential business. So you certainly don't want to miss out. But the main reason of putting image alt text as well is that it's a small little ranking factor that's Google's gonna reward you to know that this web page or across the whole site is actually really great, and there's none of that image alt text missing.
Yeah, okay. So it knows that you're trying to do your best in terms of describing what your website is for people who can't see it.
Absolutely, yeah. There's also from another thing startups can do is actually get backlinks. So, but really, what that's really about is actually building that relationships on the locally. reach out to partners and new vendors. And if you can get your a website link back from another vendor or partner, that is building up your backlink.
So is that what a backlink is? So if I
Yep.
write a blog, say on the Chamber website,
Yep,
and it references my website, that reference is called a backlink.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. Obviously, the better, should we say, domain authority or better, bigger and better website that you can get a backlink from. So best examples are, say the BBC website or some of the big newspapers, maybe the Guardian, Times, whichever you fancy. Any of those, I mean, if you got a backlink from them, that is huge backlink.
Is that what you mean by authority? Because they're seen to be
Absolutely.
important and authoritative, and it kind of connects you to that authority.
Yeah, it's basically a sort of a signal saying, look, we're sending traffic to you. We're recognising this website. So here's the link, and they're redirecting you back to it. That's broadly what it is.
Yeah, okay, that's a good tip. That's one I might work out how to do.
One final tip actually startups can actually do as well is actually keyword research.
Oh, yeah.
So, you can, Google have got their keyword planner, which is free. Look into that, see what people are searching for. You can also look at the Google Search Console, and that will actually tell you what people are actually searching for that is coming to your website. But obviously, most of all, listen to what your customers are actually saying. How are they talking about your products or services? Use that terminology, then again, back in your website that then connects with those potential customers.
And does Google reviews work in that sort of way, give you some authority?
Yeah, that is one of the big sort of things, because we live in a world, everybody's sort of, if you're going to go out for a meal somewhere or you're looking for a product or service, pretty much 9 times out of 10 people like to see what is the other general public saying. So if that that potential vendor has got a decent set of reviews and feedback and comments and testimonials, we say, then that is going to reward with that potential client making that conversion to do business with you.
Oh, that's brilliant. So they are quite simple things a startup could do.
Absolutely, yeah. That's why we really stress the Google Business Profile. Get reviews into your business profile, because it's actually going to do you a lot of rewarding favours, and it will help you outrank your competitors.
And get that profile relevant and local is what I heard from you.
Oh, absolutely as well. So somebody's looking for a coffee shop in the local area, and you've got high reviews, then they will get, you will come up from a map perspective and get your ranking.
Smashing. So how do you ensure, Ben, that a website both, it's got to drive both engagement and conversion, because ultimately conversion is what you're really chasing. So how do you drive that engagement and conversion on a website?
So at Cosmic Carrot, we focus on first one is clear goals. So it's not just branding or marketing, it's functionality as well.
So I'm assuming you have to really understand the business to do that, don't you?
Absolutely. We get right to the core at the beginning. What is that pain point? What is the issue? We're in the problem-solving business. We're not in the making pretty websites business. It's about what is the business, what's the problem, or what are they trying to solve, or what are they trying to sell, I guess, as well. The first thing is having those clear goals. So you've got to have that in place. And make sure the website is actually saying that for you. It's actually transferring.
So you should say, this is the problem we're trying to solve for you. Click here to buy our product almost.
Yeah, if you go to the Apple website, they're selling an iPhone. You're there to buy an iPhone. It's as simple as that, really.
Yep.
And plus all the other products they sell. But the other things are. I'm trying to think what's the other things I've got to say.
So strategy is the first one, clearly. Make sure that you understand, what you're selling and why.
Yeah.
The next one, and what about the actual website itself?
So you want to be looking at data-driven iterations, which is something we just touched on before. You want to be looking at the analytics and the data, and if there's something happening, you've got to make that change in because the data is telling you something. So you need to respond accordingly. So it's then actually going to produce a better conversion.
Yeah, and I know in some of the stuff I looked when I was using Clarity is I could see people scrolling down, but they never clicked the call to action button, and there was a reason why that wasn't being clicked. And
So in that perfect example, Neil, the best thing to do would actually be to let's move that call to action higher up the page, or have some other call to action that is getting them lower to click on that. Probably easier option to move it to the top, but anyway, we'll skip that for now.
Call to action is probably another good strategy then, is it?
Yeah, so the key thing is to optimise those call to actions. You know, it's not about just pointing to, you know, click here. You maybe have to say something that is in the same language or that same way your potential clients are communicating with your business, or how they communicate to find that product. So that's what you need to say in the call to action. That's thinking, oh yeah, that's what I want. I need to move along to here or whatever, and they'll click and they'll should get them to convert to where they want to be.
Yeah, so that's really driving that engagement, you know, and getting to the conversion.
Absolutely. You know, really, it's more than a few things. You know, you've got to work on building it all together, and you know, so it all comes together in the end.
I think it ties up with some of the other videos I've done on branding. First of all, it's about, you know, that strategy, understanding the customer, the problem you're trying to solve for them, and how you position that. Then it's on about, you know, you've talked about having a clear message on your website around that, and having something that's aesthetically pleasing and simple that people can understand.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good navigation, good positioning of call to actions, or good language around trying to get that engagement of somebody into the call to action. And you mentioned data and using data to guide you.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, it all has to come together as one. It's not something you can sort of, you know, defer or neglect. You know, but you've got to bring it all together, and at the end of the day, you should see results if you focus on everything, you know, one by one.
It's like a jigsaw. You've got to bring all those pieces together to get the...
Absolutely, Neil.
That's brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time today,
Thank you very much,
Ben.
Neil.
That's been great. I hope you've got a lot from that, and thank you very much, and good luck on your startup journey.